Hello, and thank you for joining us on this Freaky Friday. I am Laura Schweizer.
And I am Stephanie Langston. Y'all know Local On 2 loves history, especially when it's a little haunted.
Yes.
The oldest residence in Hopkinsville, Kentucky is now open to the public for history and paranormal events. We are so in.
Oh my gosh, I'm fangirling now.
She is.
We are here with Eric Freeman Sims. He owns the Night House. So we've got to talk about this house. It's over 200 years old. Give us a little backstory. We're standing in front of it.
It was built between 1850 and 1820, and it was built in the federal style, and then it was switched over to the big columns that you see now. That's the Greek revival style, and it's been changed so many times throughout its 200 years. It's always been a residence, so it's always been upgraded. So it's turned into this weird 6-level house that goes from a 10-foot deep cellar to a attic that runs the length of the house. And yeah, it's the oldest in Christian County, still standing in all of Christian County, Kentucky, and Hopkinsville.
And you just bought it earlier this year in April. You said 6 levels, unreal. Now you're a paranormal researcher, so you knew what you were getting your hands into here. Yeah,
and we've had stuff happen from day one, being in the house, knocks on doors and things from day one, and catching stuff on video as well. Disembodied voices, hearing footsteps when nobody's there, seeing like somebody move out of the corner of your eye, across a doorway, things like that. Lots of voices of people throughout the house.
Okay, so look at this video. My palms are sweating right now because I'm so excited. Explain what is happening here.
So the cameras I have set up in the house are motion sensor and sound. And so they start recording whenever they send something. And this is in the upstairs guest suite. So this would be the 5th level of the house. And the camera's on a dresser, and there's nothing up there to create any kind of mist or anything. This is at 5:30 in the evening. For some reason, the camera, even though it's broad daylight, the camera switched itself to night vision. That's why it's black and white. And then after this happened, it switched itself back to color, to day vision. So I don't know if that has something to do with the mist and something messing with the camera or what. So interesting piece of video. I've not been able to debunk it. That's the first thing we do if you're serious investigators, try to prove it, but there's nothing. The house is not dusty enough to have a mist like that. And a lot of people, if you watch the video down in the corner on the floor, a lot of people say it looks like legs and like a dress, to where the upper is kind of a different shape.
But you said these are good spirits.
Yes.
You get good vibes off of it, right?
Everybody that's been in the house, we've had several teams come and investigate overnight, but even just general people who aren't in the paranormal just think, they tell us the house is just welcoming, and they just feel welcomed in the house. It's always been, family residence for 200 years, not really any like tragedies like murders or anything like that. So nothing real crazy, but every family member before they had funeral homes and things would have had their wakes there. They would have funerals there in the dining room. And so, it was a much family atmosphere, like I said, very welcoming. They would entertain people, they were socialites, so.
And I know that you bring paranormal researchers and teams out to the Night House to spend the night. I said, Steph, can we please go? But how do you become a paranormal researcher? Like, what does your day-to-day look like?
So we just go around to different locations and investigate, but 80% of what we do is history. And that's why I wanted to look for a historic house like the Night House. 20% of it is us connecting to the spirits and trying to verify some of the history or maybe learn new history through connecting with spirits. So most of us are big history buffs. I got my start when I was a teenager. My father passed away, and I wanted to figure out what happens when we die and try to prove to myself that something, beyond us. And so I've been investigating ever since and researching.
And there's lots of history that you've uncovered throughout that, right? Tell us some of these pieces that you brought here. So
this right here, I have 2 of these books that came with the house. Somebody had the mind enough with the Knight family. The Knight family occupied the house for 80 years, from 1860 until 1941, when the last descendant. But somebody had mind enough to collect all these letters, and these are all original letters. There's original envelopes in here with still the wax seals on them. It's business correspondence, it's personal correspondence. J.B. Knight was the head of the household. He was an attorney, but he was a real estate mogul, so he really didn't practice law very much. He bought and sold properties, and they were worth about, I think at the height, maybe $10–20 million in the 1860s. They had so much, thousands of acres and things like that. A lot of this stuff it's a big archaeological dig in the house too. A lot of this stuff, like we've got China pieces from the 1800s to 1940s. There's a big spike here, a hand wrought spike. We've got old doorknobs and things that we found throughout the house.
Fascinating. Can anybody come inside?
Yes. Yeah, okay. We're doing, right now we're just doing private history tours. We have to get the house rezoned to so public tickets, but you can call and we can set up a private history tour for a group of people. And then the paranormal stuff is all on our website, thenightHouseKY.com, and Night is spelled K-N-I-G-H-T. And they can go on there and book a night at the Night House.
Quick question, did you get your question answered about your dad?
I have, yeah, because I've experienced so many things that I have to believe in something beyond us. And so, yeah, and intelligent, spirits. Even the Night House has intelligent spirits, that interact with us intelligently. So.
Oh, I love it. Thank you so much.
You.
You are awesome. Guys, they have it all from history to paranormal events. Check them out in Hopkinsville at thenightHouseKY.com.